So, ladies and gentlemen and esteemed participants, we are back with another webinar with Bimal sir. Today, we will be covering important checklist in GST for closure of this particular financial year. And I know we all know that Bimal sir need no introduction, but there are so many viewers in our YouTube channel and in this particular webinar who are new to this particular webinar. So for them, I would like to introduce sir. So CA Bimal sir is a renowned chartered accountant, a member of ICAI since 1994, with an exceptional reputation for his expertise in tax laws, compliance, and financial strategies. With an illustrious career spanning 21 plus years, he has been a driving force in shaping and influencing India's taxation landscape. His vast knowledge and profound insights into the ever evolving tax regulations have made him a sought after tax authority in this industry. Over that, he has a bachelor's degree in law and a qualified SAP financial control consultant as well. On top of that, he also has 18 years of corporate experience in various companies like LG, Honda, Hindustan Development Corp, Python and Company, and now the executive director of A to Z Corp. Bimal sir has been a keynote speaker at Guinness World Records made by ICSI in the largest taxation mission on GST, which was graced by 4,500 participants, breaking record of Japan. He has won numerous awards from AMP School Noida, Best Speaker Award from NIRC, ICWAI Young Achievement Award at Igniting Minds 2015, and also Best Participating Award in NSOP 117th batch by ICSI. As we all gather here today for his enlightening webinar, we are privileged to have Bimal sir as our esteemed speaker. So without further ado, I will take my leave now, and I would let Bimal sir take the stage. And sir, please do your magic, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Hers, for the lovely introduction, and thanking all the participants who are joining Pan India on this important webinar where we are going to discuss two broad components: the activities which we have done in the month of March 25, and the activities which is important for us to start the new beginning of the financial year 25-26. So I'm going to discuss all these important pointers one by one. But first of all, my greetings and my gratitude to all the viewers Pan India joining today, taking out time from their busy schedule, and it would be worth joining because a lot of new point we are going to discuss today. So rest assured, you will get good pointers, which is a beginning for compliances when you look at financial year 25-26. So before I start, I just want to have something that all the participants can communicate with me in question answers tab. So whenever I'm posting anything and I'm asking anything from my viewers, you can say yes or no in question answers tab. That will be helping us to have two-way communication. And we can understand that what is your answer when I'm posting a query. And of course, I'm going to correct in case answer is different. I'm going to correct that one as well. But feel free while responding back to the queries posted to all of you. So Pan India, are you ready? Can you say yes in a question answers tab so that we can start with? All right, so a lot of you has picked up the question answers tab and saying yes. So thanking each one of you. So a few of them like Smita is there, Amit is there, Apurv is there, Firoj is there, Arun is there, lot many. Kruti is there. So many participants. Ravi is there. Dinesh is also there. Thanking each one of you. If I am not naming, it means intangibly I'm naming to you. So take appreciation that I have also named you. So what I want from each one of you, that you should take a piece of paper and pen or pencil. That's all, nothing else. And just one by one, you can just note down. Why this noting down is important? It will help you when you're noting down, it will register to your mind. That is the reason. And this is the way to learn something. And this is the technique which I follow in my professional career. Whenever I'm learning or reading something, I take a piece of paper, pen or pencil and note down one by one. And that is how I concentrate on the topic which I'm reading or I'm learning. So the same message to all of you. Take the piece of paper, pen or pencil. Give me at least your 1 hour, dedicated 1 hour, and don't look at here and there. I know when we are in webinar mode, I'm here. I do not know what you're doing on the other side, but be religious. You are watching me, you're listening me sincerely. This 1 hour will give you and make you, I'm telling you, GST compliant, and you will learn a lot of new pointers today. That is my guarantee. I'm not saying warranty, guarantee to each one of you. So are you all ready with the paper, pen or pencil? If you're ready, let me start with. Okay. So thanking you, Narendra ji, Dronacharya, he has commented on in question answer stuff. Thank you very much. So let's see. Okay. All right. So today's discussion would be divided into two broad components. First, we are going to discuss the important activities which is required in the March 2025, and I'm sure you must have taken. In case you have not taken, it is the right time. You should take immediately. It might be just delay of 3-4 days, but if you're taking those activities, then you are compliant. So I'm going to discuss each of the component activities important for the beginning of financial year 25-26. And then second broad category would be compliances. What we should do as a closure of financial year 24-25. So we are going to discuss these pointers in two broad categories. So let me start with the activities which is important for the financial year 25-26. The first one, and you're noting down. So when you're noting down, create that paper, take the photo, and you're having so much of, my connects. You know me on my social media. Put those, papers, whatever you have made today, so that I can see who all are sincerely noting down today's component. I'm sure each one of you are doing that, but when I'm getting on social media, it will definitely going to help me to identify who has done religiously. So note down clearly. So let me start with first point. If you are engaged in zero-rated supply of goods or services or both, and there are two transactions zero-rated. One is export, another one is supply to SEZ unit or developer. Now, zero-rated supply can be done under two modes. Option one, it can be done on IGST, means your zero-rated supply on payment of IGST. And another option would be that you need not require to charge IGST. It would be without IGST, but in that case, you claim refund of input tax credit, input and input services under Rule 89. But whenever you are undertaking zero-rated supply without IGST, then LUT need to be executed. And the form specific is RFD 11, and which must be executed by 31st March 2025 if you want to go with the LUT mode. So two options. LUT is applicable when your zero-rated supply is without IGST, the first pointer. Second, we must calculate our aggregate turnover as defined under Section 2, subsection 6 of CGST Act. Why this aggregate turnover is important, I'm going to tell you. But what is the meaning of aggregate turnover? Aggregate turnover consists of my all taxable supplies, intra and interstate, my export, and my exempt supplies, all three bunched together, excluding any outward supply subject to RCM. That will not be part of my aggregate turnover. So what we have to add? All taxable supplies, exempt supplies, and export. That is my aggregate turnover, and to be calculated on PAN basis, permanent account number basis. So you may have 4 registration under one PAN number, sum total of turnover taking together under one PAN number would be my aggregate turnover. And why this aggregate turnover is important? Now listen, the next activity. If you want to opt for composition dealer, and composition dealer come with a threshold of 1.5 crore, and you want to opt for composition dealer, then you need to look at your aggregate turnover. It is up to 1.5 crore, you're entitled. What form you need to file? CMP02. CMP02. And within 60 days, you need to submit the stock position while opting for composition within 60 days, ITC03. This is the second activity. Third, QRMP, quarterly return, monthly payment. Who all can opt for it? Those whose aggregate turnover is up to 5 crore in preceding financial year. So here the relevance of aggregate turnover will come. If your aggregate turnover is up to 5 crore in a preceding financial year, you can opt for QRMP, quarterly return, monthly payment. So third activity. Coming to the fourth. When we are starting with the new financial year 25-26, we have to create new invoice series. New invoice series, which is also applicable for debit note, credit note, even for the exempt supplies, bill of supply. So new invoice series, and under the GST law, Rule 46, it is 16 alphabetical, numerical, special character in combination thereof. So this new invoice series per financial year need to be started. So whenever you are closing your 31st March 2025 and starting with the 1st April 2025, a new financial year, there should be new invoice series for taxable and exempted. Taxable invoice, debit note, credit note, and then exempted bill of supplies. So you need to bear in your mind, it is as per Rule 46 of CGST Rule 2017. Having said that, next one is the E-invoice. I'm asking one question to all of you. The first question of today's webinar, and you need to answer in question answers tab. Who all are required to generate E-invoice? Tell me, what is the threshold of aggregate turnover? Just write down in question answers tab. I want to see what is the threshold applicable for compulsorily generation of E-invoice. Write down the answer in question answers tab. So a lot of you are writing, there is the answer right and wrong both together. So let me correct. If your aggregate turnover is more than 5 crore in any preceding financial year, starting from 17-18, is more than 5 crore, and this 5 crore threshold made applicable from 1st August 23. 1st August 23. There should be compulsory generation of E-invoice. My next question to all of you. Let's say you are required, you're a supplier. You need to compulsorily generate E-invoice. Let's say you are not generating E-invoice, you're generating tax invoice, and I'm your buyer, I'm the recipient. Can I avail credit on that tax invoice, which is not E-invoice, which you are compulsorily required to generate? Say yes or no in question answers tab. Is it possible? Can I avail credit? Say yes or no in question answers tab. No way. So Rule 48 sub Rule 4 specifically saying It's supplier who is liable to generate e-invoice, then only your buyer recipient will get the credit. Otherwise, your buyer will not get the credit. So this is the first part. Threshold would be 5 crore, applicable from 1st August 23. Now, two components here. First, e-invoice is required for all B2G taxable supplies, B2B taxable supplies, tax invoice, debit note, credit note, export. It is compulsorily required, and we know that we need to put such invoices particulars on IRP, dedicated IRP, which is then providing unique IRN number, QR embedded and digitally signed. So when IRN is coming, it is called that e-invoice got generated. But my question to all of you, let's say I'm a bank, and bank audit is now around the corner. Lot many chartered accountant going for the bank. Whether bank is also required to generate e-invoice, let's assume their turnover is more than 50 crore. Say yes or no. Aggregate turnover of a bank is more than 50 crore. Do bank require to generate e-invoice? Say yes or no in a question answers tab. Okay. So there are some yes also. Saurabh Singh is saying yes. Other company's name is coming saying yes. There are certain categories, even though their aggregate turnover is more than the specified limit, but they will not generate e-invoice. Who are those? Government department, local authority, SEJ unit but not developer, any insurer, insurance company, bank, financial institution, GTA, passenger transportation services, OIDAR, cinemaplexes, they are not required to generate e-invoice, even though their aggregate turnover is more than the specified limit. So this is what another important change pertaining to e-invoice. Is there any advisory that by when, let's say today I'm standing on 4th April, we are doing this program. Is there any time limit for me that I must generate the e-invoice within a month, 2 months, 3 months, or I can generate even after 6 months? Is there any limit? Tell me yes or no. Then I will tell you what is the change. Please tell me, is there any limit? Say yes or no. I'm saying only yes and no. Okay. All right. So a lot of you are saying limit is there. A lot of you are saying no limit is there. Answer H. As per recent advisory, the time lag would be 30 days compulsorily for generating e-invoice for registered person whose aggregate turnover is more than 10 crore. So if I'm talking about 4th April, then by 3rd May, I must generate e-invoice. This 30 days time period is given to me as maximum time period. So you should keep this provision to your mind. Hope I'm clear. Can I see yes? Thumbs up will work this time. So another way, thumbs up. All right. So, okay, perfect. All right. All right. Thank you very much. Coming back. Next. eBay bill. I know that the generation of eBay bill is important. Whenever we talk about registered supplier and registered recipient, whoever causes movement of goods, they are supposed to generate the eBay bill. And when taxable value is more than 50,000, am I right? It is known to all of us. And this 50,000 rupees This threshold vary from different state. Different state has got different limit. So in general, it is 50,000 rupees. But the question which I'm asking you, do we have any requirement to generate eBay bill when supplier is unregistered and buyer is also unregistered? Both are unregistered. They are not registered. With the generation of eBay bill is compulsory, and assume the taxable value is more than 50,000. Tell me yes or no. I just want to check. So you tell me, neither of them, neither supplier nor recipient is registered. Taxable value is more than 50,000. Do they require to generate eBay bill? Please tell me. Yes or no? Okay. So a lot of yes and no coming. Okay, all right. So thank you very much. So you people are participating. That's appreciation to each one of you. Yes, from 11th of February 2025, very recently, Rule 138 sub Rule 4 already got notified. Now, if you are unregistered, then you have to get unique enrollment ID, and that is by filing ENR03 on eBay bill portal. The unique ID will be created. And then with that unique ID, you need to generate the eBay bill. So this is the change which you must take a note of it. So this is applicable from 11th of February 2025. And this notification, in case you want to note, it is 12/2024 central tax, but applicable from 11th of February 2025. Coming back to GTA, Goods Transport Agency. Let's assume I'm a goods transport agency. I can opt for forward charge or I can opt for reverse charge. If I'm opting for forward charge, then I would be having two options. Either I am selecting 5% GST with no ITC, or I'm selecting 12% GST rate with ITC, input tax credit. So any GTA who want to opt forward charge mechanism, he has to file declaration in Annex 5, and that to be filed by 31st March 2025, whenever he's selecting forward charge. In case he want to move from forward charge to reverse charge, let's say he was under forward charge, but this year he want 25-26, he want reverse charge, then Annex 6 need to be filled up. This is for goods transport agency. I hope you all are clear. I'm posting one query to all of you. Let's say I'm a GTA. I've opted for the forward charge and I'm charging GST under forward charge method. You are all my buyer company. Do you still require to pay GST under reverse charge? Maybe a foolish question, but I'm trying out. I'm under forward charge, GTA. I'm charging 12% GST or 5% GST, whatever might be. Still, as a recipient, do you require to pay GST under reverse charge? Say yes and no in question answers tab. Not required. You need to pay only when GTA is not charging GST and putting that declaration in the invoice raised to you. Then only you need to pay under reverse charge. When you're paying under reverse charge, what would be the GST rate? 5% or 12%? My next question. Please tell me. 5% or 12%? Please tell me. 5%. All right. Whether you will get the credit when you're paying GST under 5%. You will get the credit, yes or no? Please tell me. Fast, quick. Definitely you will get the credit provided it is related to your taxable outward supplies. It is recipient. I'm talking about recipient. You will get the credit provided it is related to your taxable outward supplies. Hope I'm clear to all of you. Perfect. So GTA is done. Now coming back to the next change, an important one. Cross-charge versus ISD. Very interesting one. And you know, ISD, Input Service Distributor, is now going to be compulsory from 1st April 2025. So first we need to understand what is the difference between cross-charge and ISD. I need your attention. Listen to me very carefully. Cross-charge means, let's say I'm a company and I'm having a head office in Delhi and I'm having 4 factories in different state under same PAN number. Under same PAN number. So my CEO, my CFO, my common accounts team, HR team, IT team, all sitting in Delhi. Head office. Question was whether head office is giving any services to the factory in 4 different states registered under same PAN number. They are distinct person under same PAN number. Whether HO is giving any services. This was the dispute in the beginning of GST, but now settled down. This is called deemed supply. As per entry 2, Schedule 1, deemed supply even without consideration. This is called cross-charge. Cross-charge means there is some internally generated service. I'm using the term internally generated service, which is provided by HO under same PAN number to the branches or factory. They are distinct person under same PAN number. So this is called cross-charge. Valuation, of course, as per second proviso of Rule 28, Sub-Rule 1, if recipient is entitled for ITC, then any value picked up by the supplier would be deemed open market value. And this has been clarified by Circular Number 199, dated 17 July 2023. Now, what is this ISD then? Input Service Distributor. ISD is something different. Let's assume the same example I'm carrying forward. Now, HO is procuring certain common input services from third party. You're listening to me carefully so that you will digest. HO, in same example, procuring third party common input services. What could be? Advertisement, audit, not many, marketing expense. They're getting invoice from a third party at HO, which is being used by all of us together. My factory has also used the same. Even at HO, I have used the same. So what happened? The GST charged by advertising company to HO, and which is being used by all distinct person under same PAN number, whether HO can claim full credit or they need to have different perspective. For all of you, this is called concept called Input Service Distributor. Now, HO need to take separate ISD registration. Separate ISD registration, because whole GST which is charged by advertising company does not belong to HO, which is used by other distinct person under same PAN number. So thereby, this HO need to take this credit and distribute this credit among distinct person under same PAN number. So here is only distribution. Here HO is not giving any services, not supplying any services to the recipient unit. It is only availing credit as a ISD and distributing the credit in terms of utilization or pro rata on turnover basis. This is called ISD and now made applicable from 1st April 2025. Are you all ready? It need to be. No choice. In past, what we have seen, instead of ISD registration, we were doing cross-charge. We were raising invoice, taxable invoice. to a distinct person. We were not registered under ISD. We were not registered. We were raising only cross-charge invoices in the past. For that, relief is being provided by that circular which I referred, circular number 199, dated 17th July 2023. For past, no problem. But from 1st April 2025, you need to segregate what is cross-charge, internally generated service provided among distinct person. And what is ISD? Where third-party common input services procured and distributed among distinct person. This is the first change. For ISD, you need to get separate registration done. For distribution of credit, you need to file GSTR 6. What is the change proposed in this budget, Union Budget 2025, which is now Finance Act 2025? They have made changes under Section 2, subsection 61, Red Bit Section 20, and they have said, even though ISD is procuring interstate common input services, which is subject to RCM, so they can pay RCM liability. They were providing, they were covered earlier. I mean to say they were covered earlier. Now they have made, amendment is being made under Section 2, subsection 61, that ISD now can pay reverse charge liability even on interstate supply of services. And that credit can be distributed by ISD to the recipient unit. And distribution, how to distribute the credit, is being prescribed by Section 20, read with Rule 39. I'm giving you some flavor, how to be distributed. If you go to Rule 39, you will get the mechanism. They're saying whatever credit availed by ISD, that credit need to be distributed in same month. Credit availment, whatever credit avail, to that extent credit should be distributed. You have to distribute both eligible and ineligible credit. It's not like that if ISD procuring certain input services of 17 subsection 5, then they need to distribute the same credit. How to be distributed? A particular input service related to a particular unit. They are having 4 recipient unit in the example which I have taken. But if it is related to one particular unit, it needs to be distributed to that particular unit. If it is related to 2 recipient unit, it needs to be distributed to 2 unit only. But if it is commonly used by all, it needs to be pro rata, on turnover basis need to be distributed. That is what the mechanism provided in Rule 39. I want to take one test, and which is interesting for you so that you can get prepared yourself, because 1st April 2025 is an important date. Let's say I'm in Delhi, I'm ISD registered. Let's assume I am in Delhi, I'm ISD registered. And my 2 unit is registered in Delhi as a normal registration. So even ISD and recipient unit are within the same state, So ISD procuring common input services. My service provider is charging CGST and SGST, or it can be CGST and UTGST. That can be the example. If you need to distribute this credit to your recipient unit in same state, then it should be distributed as a CGST and SGST. Question to all of you. If ISD Delhi procuring interstate supply of services, IGST charged to the Delhi ISD registered, now he need to distribute this credit to the recipient unit in the same state. It should be distributed as IGST or CGST and SGST. Please write I or C and S. That is what the answer I'm looking at. Please tell me. Okay. So lot of different answer. lot of different answer in the question answers tab. IGST credit must be distributed as IGST. That is what the mechanism prescribed. Kindly have a look at. And that is what the preparation need to be for ISD. So maybe we require different webinar on concept of ISD, how to get registration done, distribution done, GSTR 6 need to be filed. If there's a mistake, what to be done? If credit note raised by the supplier of service to ISD, how this ISD then need to raise credit note to the recipient unit? What would be the applicability for the debit note? Many condition and provision. We need to geared up and prepared ourselves. Maybe we can plan another webinar only on this topic, but this is what the brief glimpses I've given to you, cross-charge versus ISD. I want to ask only two questions to all of you, which I have said in my deliberation, but still I want to check from you whether you captured right or wrong. For the past period prior to 1st April 2025, you were supposed to take ISD registration. You were supposed to take. You didn't take, but you followed a method of cross-charge. Any challenge, any problem, any risk? Say yes or no. Say yes and no. Any challenge for the past period? No. Which circular you'd be relying on? Circular number 199 dated 17 July 2023. Second question, but from 1st April 2025, can you follow the same cross-charge method for ISD mechanism? The method which you were following in the past, can you carry on doing the same effective from 1st April 2025? Please tell me yes or no. Can you do that? To my mind, from 1st April 2025 is a big challenge, and you need to gear up for this effective changes. And that is what they have said. ISD need to be separately registered. So that is my answer to all of you. All right. Coming to the two important change, which is now GST amnesty. And this is again important one. Let's listen the first one, 16 subsection 5. Let's say you got any adverse order from the GST department. And this adverse order is being passed under section 73, non-fraud, 74, fraud, or you got appellate order under 107 or 108. Adverse order, they have said that credit is not available to you because being time barred as per section 16 subsection 4 for initial 4 financial year 17-18, 18-19, 19-20 and 20-21. You got adverse order and you have not filed appeal. You have not filed appeal. What is the corrective measure? Now, as per the provision section 16 subsection 5, read with notification number 22/2024 central tax dated 8 October 2024. I'm saying where you got adverse order and you have not filed appeal. You should file rectification application. And where the format? Annexer A. Annexer A, which is being given in the said notification 22/2024 central tax. It need to be filed electronically on portal, GSTN portal, within 6 months, from 8th of October 2024. So last date would be 7th April 2025. 3-4 days left. So any adverse order and you have not filed appeal, which was rejecting your credit being time barred as per section 16 subsection 4, you can move rectification application electronically. Only condition need to be satisfied that you must have availed credit through GSTR 3B and by 30th November 21. 30th November 21. Only this condition need to be satisfied. once you file your rectification application, the proper officer will rectify such adverse order within 3 months of your application. This is the category A. Category 2, you got adverse order and you have filed appeal and your appeal is pending before appellate authority. Possible, right? You got adverse order, you have filed appeal and your appeal is pending before appellate authority. What you should do? You should prepare a letter, just one pager, quote section 16, subsection 5, draw the reference of that notification and tell to the authority saying that now I'm entitled as per section 16, subsection 5. So he will pass that order in your favor. He can't pass any contrary order because now he has to abide by, because 16 subsection 5 is retrospectively applicable from July 1, 2017. So without doing anything, just a simple letter will work. Now, two more components for this particular issue. If you have reversed the credit, let's say in the past, for either or region, department disputed, time barred, as per section 16, subsection 4, and you have reversed the same. Do you get any refund? Say yes or no in question answer tab. As per the provision, can you claim refund? Can you get the refund? Please tell me. No refund is permissible. But I'm of the opinion, in my humble submission, it is violative of Article 265 to the Constitution of India. You're giving benefit to someone who has not complied, but those who complied with, paid the amount, they must be refunded back, right? And it is talking about only when you have availed through GST 3B and by 30th November 21. I'm of the opinion that even though you have not availed in 3B, but availed through 9 and 9C, you have shown that credit in your 9 and 9C, they should get the benefit. I'm drawing one example for you quickly. Let's say when I filed 3B, it was a mistake on my part. I did not mention the credit amount, which is otherwise available to me. While filing my annual return, I have shown this credit amount in 9 and 9C. Of course, there will be mismatch whenever it is being compared with 3B, because I have not availed. My 3B was wrongly filed as an L. But I've shown the same credit in my 9 and 9C. Am I not entitled to? Of course, this provision saying you're not entitled to, but there are judgment coming from Madras High Court, Sanmoga Hardware Electrical, Kevin HP Gas. It is subject to litigation, but you will get the benefit. So this is on 16 subsection 5. And second amnesty, it is waiver of interest or penalty or both. Under section 128 capital A, for 3 financial year, 17-18, 18-19, and 19-20. When demand is being made under section 73 for non-payment of tax, short payment of tax, wrongly availed credit, or wrongly utilized credit, except erroneous refund, you will get the benefit of section 128 capital A, waiver of interest or penalty or both. You know that demanded tax amount need to be paid by 31st March 2025. That date is gone and this date was not extended. So 31st March 2025 has gone. Now you need to file SPL 01 in a case when notice is being issued, but no order in original is being passed, SPL 01. And wherever order is being passed, but no order in appeal is being passed, or order in appeal is being passed by the first appellate authority, but no order is passed by GST tribunal, in that case SPL 02, within 3 months from 31st March 2025. So 30th June 2025 would be the date for filing SPL 01 or SPL 02. Wherever you have filed the appeal or writ petition, you need to withdraw. So you have to make a withdrawal application. While filing these forms, you have to attach those withdrawal application. Whenever you will get withdrawal order, you need to submit within 1 month. This is what the prescribed procedure. When you look at the provision section 128 capital A, read with rule 164, read with circular number 238 dated 15th October 2024, recent circular 248 dated 27th March 2025. This is what, and notification number 20 and 21 2024 central tax. All relevant provisions are there for the benefit of section 128 capital A. One question to you, one question, and which you need to answer in a question answer tab. If you got notice under section 74, which is fraud case, can you avail the benefit of this section 128 capital A? Say yes or no. Tell me. Can you get the benefit? Say yes or no. Can you get the benefit? So a lot of you are saying yes and no. My answer to all of you is yes, you can get the benefit. If any appellate authority, tribunal or court remand back the matter for an order to be passed under section 73, saying that it is not a fraud case, it is a non-fraud case. If that remand back is happening, then he is going to pass order under section 73. Am I right? Then the date of depositing the tax would be 6 months from the date of this order to be passed. So 31st March 2025 gone for other categories, but for this category still time open to you. Cross check within 6 months from the date of the order to be passed under section 73, and that is what the fourth category, which you must take a note of it. And we have created detailed video on section 128 capital A. You can go to my YouTube channel and watch detailed process, procedure, how to file, what are the provision. It is all available on my YouTube channel. So these are the two GST amnesty, which is important, critical in terms of timeline. So you must have taken a note of it. Can I see one thumbs up so that I really get to a point that you are getting my point? A thumbs up from you will help me. Yes, you all are getting it. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Amitabo Lahiri, 75 section 2. All right. Thank you very much. So I'm through with the first part. Now coming back to compliances. Interesting one. Closure of financial year 24-25. We are all talking about from GST perspective. And now here I need 15 minutes more attention. And I will refer one Supreme Court important judgment also. So go with me, 15 minutes. Dedicated capsule on compliances. What you need to do for the closure of financial year 24-25 from GST perspective. Number one. You first do the reconciliation of your outward supply with your eBay bill generated and your E-invoice generated. A proper reconciliation. eBay bill can be generated for supply chargeable to tax. eBay bill also required to be generated, which is not a supply, only on delivery challan, but eBay bill got generated. A proper reconciliation of generation of eBay bill with your sell with yourself, and then corresponding e-invoice generated. Corresponding e-invoice generated. So this reconciliation must be prepared. And then this reconciliation must be made with GSTR 1 and 1A. So whatever book turnover, your books of account turnover need to be reconciled with eBay bill, e-invoice, GSTR 1, GSTR 1A, and then corresponding liabilities being paid through GSTR 3B. A detailed reconciliation is importantly required. I have seen that department undertake audit. What they are doing and what is the system at their end. If they find you are generating lot many eBay bill, but corresponding outward supply is not there, so they will pick up your accounts as for audit. It may be for scrutiny under section 61. It may be for audit under section 65. It may be section 67 for inspection. So this reconciliation will help you to get yourself prepared. I hope you're all getting my point. Second point, while doing the reconciliation, you may come across that there was some transaction interstate. You should have charged IGST, but wrongly you have charged CGST and SGST. Maybe a case that while doing reconciliation, you come across that transaction should be interstate, but you have treated as intrastate. You have deposited also CGST and SGST, whereas you should deposit IGST. So my simple question to all of you, I'm just trying to understand from each one of you. Can you keep this transaction as it is? Say yes or no, then I will ask another query. Can you keep this as it is without no correction? Please tell me, can you keep it as it is? No, you can't. No, you can't. You can't keep it like this. You need to pay IGST. You need to pay IGST and claim refund of CGST and SGST. That is what the mechanism. Section 77 CGST Act, read with Section 19 of IGST Act. You need to. Let me ask one related question here. So maybe a transaction pertaining to 24-25, but now you realize it is IGST payable, but you deposited CGST and SGST. So now you're paying IGST, which was, let's say, after 1 year, where the interest is leviable. Tell me yes or no. Whether interest is leviable. Interest is not leviable. Not leviable. And you have to go for claiming refund of CGST and SGST. So this reconciliation is a must. Now I'm coming back to one important Supreme Court judgment, interesting judgment. You must listen this judgment. It is providing relief to so many. Let me first create example for you so that you get good, you get clarity what was the case all about. I'm a supplier. I'm your supplier. You all are my buyer. You all are my buyer. Hope you're listening. Are you all listening? Say yes. If you're listening, say yes, so that I can tell you what is the Supreme Court judgment which I'm referring to. Okay. All right. Perfect. Listen now. While filing GSTR 1, let's say of 1819, 1920, 2021, I have wrongly furnished GST number of someone else. I did not furnish your GST number. While filing my GSTR 1, my invoice is correct, having your GST number. But while filing GSTR 1, I made mistake. So it is not getting auto-populated in GSTR 2A or 2B of recipient. Am I clear? So 1819 transaction, I made mistake. when you saw this transaction sometime in 23, 24, you come back to me. You're saying, Bimalji, you made mistake filing GSTR1. It is not coming in my 2A, 2B, and my jurisdictional officer is saying this credit is not available because it is not matching with 2A or 2B. Am I right? So you are having problem being recipient. You're coming back to me and telling me, Bimalji, because of your mistake, it is not getting auto-populated in 2A, 2B. I will not pay you this GST component till the time it gets auto-populated. Now, being supplier, if transaction is of 1819 or 1920, which you are coming back in 23, 24, can I do rectification? Say yes or no. Can I do rectification of my GSTR1 in 23, 24? Say yes or no. Yes and no only. I'm looking for only yes and no. See, a few of the participants say we can do rectification even now. Not possible. Section 37, subsection 3 is giving time limit by when I can rectify my GSTR1. It is by September of next financial year, and this September period got changed from 1st October 2022 and they have made it 30th November. So maximum time period 30th November of next financial year. And this change was made from 1st October 2022. So I can't do any correction. So department said credit is not available. And different high court are giving divergent judgment. Karnataka High Court has said it is a bona fide error. Bona fide error. Bombay High Court has said supplier has only wrongly furnished the GST number, but he has deposited the tax. He has deposited the tax and government has collected the tax. If this credit is being denied to the buyer just because it is not getting auto-populated in 2A, 2B, then it's a double taxation. So it is hurting. And why you will not be allowing to get it corrected? Bombay High Court has given favorable judgment and saying that when there is no loss of revenue, why this can't be corrected? And if this rectification is not permissible for clerical error, what's clerical error, right? Arithmetical error with no intention to evade taxes, tax is deposited. Then you're hurting right to do business. Article 19(1)(g), you're hurting that fundamental right. Bombay High Court judgment, good judgment. But there was a judgment from Telangana High Court, Yokohama India Limited, Punjab and Haryana High Court judgment, Barcode India Limited. They said, no, beyond time limit, you can't rectify. You can't rectify. That is the judgment given by Telangana High Court and Punjab and Haryana High Court. Matter was before Honorable Supreme Court. Bombay High Court given favorable judgment. SLP was filed by CBIC against the judgment before Supreme Court. And what Supreme Court has decided? Listen very carefully. They have dismissed the SLP filed by CBIC against Bombay High Court judgment. And Bombay High Court has said when there is no loss of revenue, because tax is already being paid, just because of clerical error or arithmetical error in GSTR1, you need to rectify such mistake. Your portal should not be, your portal should not be obstacle. Your portal should be ease of business to all of us together. Otherwise, double taxation. It is violating fundamental right to do business. And this is being upheld, and they have said it can be corrected. Your GSTR1 can be rectified even beyond the due date specified for the rectification. Bombay High Court judgment. Now you can rely this judgment, and for all past litigation, wherever dispute lies because of this supplier who made the mistake, But let me tell you, this supplier mistake was also bona fide. Also bona fide. Because GST law never got implemented the way it was supposed to be. Initially, we thought that supplier will file one, will get auto-populated in 2A of the recipient. Recipient will file 2 after doing add, modify, delete. If you do add, modify, delete, then it will get auto-populated in 1A of the supplier. Supplier need to accept or reject and then file 3. This was envisaged. Automated ITC matching provision, but never got implemented. So even supplier was not knowing that he has made mistake while filing one. Had it come to the knowledge of supplier, he would have corrected the same. But since ITC, that system was not available, so this was not the intentional mistake by the supplier, but the Supreme Court will help to all of us together for the past period. Do you all agree? And the judgment name is Aberdare Technologies Private Limited. And I've created a video on this Supreme Court judgment, which is there on my YouTube channel, which you can watch. Am I clear to all of you? You can say yes to me. Yes, this is a good judgment and going to help us to all of us together. So maybe yes in a question answer step will help. I've given you the name Aberdare. Again, I'm repeating ABREDARE, Aberdare Technologies Private Limited. Bombay High Court judgment where SLP filed by CBIC got dismissed. Hope you have taken a note of it. All right. So first part. So you have done the reconciliation of your outward supply, book turnover, eBay bill, E-invoice, GSTR1, 1A with 3B, and taxes are being paid. Then the credit note. When you're issuing a credit note as a supplier, I'm issuing a credit note to you. You're my buyer. So if it is related to financial year 24-25, I have time limit to raise the credit note in a period of April to October 25, and time period is till 30th November 25. So credit note pertaining to 24-25. And similarly, any kind of amendment or adjustment pertaining to financial year 24-25 can be accounted in April to October 25 period. Possible, because 30th November is the last date in terms of doing all adjustment correction. Credit note only when supplier raising, and credit note, we know that there are provision under section 34 subsection 2 that credit note is being issued for the milestone achieved. Lot many factors are being prescribed for the 34 subsection 2. My only point which I want to discuss here, there has to be proper reconciliation for credit note and debit note also. For credit note, my question is, if I'm raising credit note as a supplier, I get adjustment of the tax component charge on credit note with my outward tax liability as a supplier, provided you as a recipient reverse corresponding ITC. Am I right? But being supplier, do I know that you have reversed the ITC or not? For the past period, there was challenge and we got lot of litigation for the past period. But we got circular number 212, and that is saying for the past period, whether recipient has reversed the credit or not, you can take CA or CMA certificate if amount tax component amount to be reversed is more than 5 lakh rupees. If it is less than, then the recipient can give you the certification. So the supplier who is taking adjustment will get justified. But now GSTR 3B on portal is automated. If I'm raising a credit note, automatically your ITC get reversed. So you're aware of. So we need to get prepared. And even section 34 subsection 2 with this budget Finance Act 2025, They have said supplier will get the adjustment only when recipient has reversed the credit. So bear in your mind, that is important one. For debit note, important one. And you need to answer it. This is a question to all of you so that I can get a clarity whether you understood it or not. Let's say particular credit note, we have said. Now coming to the debit note. Let's say I'm raising one debit note pertaining to financial year 23-24. And I'm raising, let's say, today on 4th of April 2025. Debit note, which is pertaining to my supply of 23-24, I'm raising on 4th of April 25, financial year 25-26. My simple question goes to all of you, and please apply your mind and give me the answer. This debit note was pertaining to my supply of 23-24, but raising on 4th April 2025. I'm repeating 2-3 times so that you can get the facts correct. Your buyer, my buyer, getting this debit note can avail credit because GST charge on this debit note. Can avail the credit because this debit note is being created pertaining to supply made in financial year 23-24. Can he get the credit? Is it not barred by limitation under section 16, subsection 4? Tell me yes or no in question answers tab. Can he avail credit? Yes, he can avail credit. There is delinking now. The date I'm raising debit note is the relevant for calculation of time limit under section 16, subsection 4. So from today's date, 4th April 2025, I need to check the time limit condition of 16, subsection 4, even though it is related to my supply made in 23-24. Hope I'm clear to all of you. It is pertaining to debit note. All right, perfect. So now coming back to second component, input tax credit. Input tax credit, which is the much debated one and much disputed one. For ITC, you need to first satisfy the condition under section 16, subsection 2. What are the conditions now need to be satisfied being recipient? First, you should have tax invoice. Second, you must have received goods or services. Third, your supplier must have paid taxes. You as a buyer has paid the amount to the supplier and supplier has not deposited. Your credit may be denied. Fourth, being recipient, you are regularly filing GSTR 3B. Fifth, your credit must match with GSTR 2B, and this provision made effective from 1st January 2022. This credit which you are availing in 3B must match with GSTR 2B effective from 1st January 2022. So these 5 conditions you need to satisfy. So first of all, you look at your book credit coming from your financial statement, match with GSTR 2B. If it is not matching with GSTR 2B, then credit would be denied. Let me take this example forward. Your supplier made the same mistake. He has wrongly furnished GST number while filing GSTR 1. Hence, it is not getting auto-populated in GSTR 2B of yours, recipient. Can you avail credit? Can you quote this Supreme Court judgment which I just referred? Say yes or no. Can you refer it? Please tell me. Please tell me. Yes or no? See my answer. Now I'm getting a different answer, yes and no, in question answers tab. My answers to all of you would be, since matching with 2B is made effective from 1st January 2022, it's a condition now. So it is in our interest, we must do the reconciliation. So let's say book credit is 100. You availed in 3B 100, but only coming 80 in your 2B, then you must check Why this 20 rupees credit which I have availed as a credit is not coming in 2B? You need to immediately go back to your supplier whose credit is not getting auto-populated in 2B. And you have to make sure they're correcting such entry pertaining to 24-25, and last date for correction would be till October 2025 return. So this is what you need to do after preparing the reconciliation. So there's a high time this reconciliation must be prepared. Hope you got my message, which I want to pass on to all of you. It needs to be careful enough. When I'm connecting this topic, then credit need to be bifurcated into 3 components. Eligible credit, ineligible credit, and common ITC. Let's say you're engaged in both taxable and exempted supply. Taxable and exempted supply. So I'm giving you silver lining. Please, it is very important. It is there. I do not know you would be having an idea, but still I'm repeating. If you're engaged in both taxable and exempted supply, you must prepare 3 buckets. Your credit must be divided. Eligible credit related to your taxable supplies, you must avail 100%. Any input service related to your taxable outward supplies, you must avail 100% credit. Any input service related to exempt supplies should not avail a single penny credit, no credit. The last bucket would be common ITC, which may be commonly used for taxable and exempted supply. Then you need to do pro rata reversal, Rule 42 and Rule 43. So for the month, financial year 24-25, you need to do reversal by 31st March 2025. In the 3B, you are filing on 28th April 25. So hope you know you have to do this calculation and get reconciliation properly prepared. So pro rata reversal required, and if you are not doing that pro rata reversal, then that is liable for the interest then. So bear in your mind, this reconciliation will help you whether you have done correct reversal or not. So this is pertaining to ITC. Coming back to the 2-3 more component. Sometimes you are having TDS credit or TCS credit. TDS credit means you have a supply to a particular specified contract and TDS got deducted. You're a supplier. Your contractee has deducted the TDS while making payment to you. Or maybe you have supplied through e-commerce operator. He has collected the TCS. It's getting credited in your e-cash ledger. I'm again repeating. It gets credited in your e-cash ledger. Now, this e-cash ledger is available to you either to be utilized with your taxable outward supplies, with your outward liability. Whatever your outward liability is there, you can adjust with this balance coming in your e-cash ledger. In case you are not in a position and it is accumulation at your end, you can go for refund also. You can go for refund under Section 54 advantage. So you must cross-check any balance lying in your e-cash ledger on account of TDS or TCS, which can be adjusted for your outward tax liability, or it can be claimed as a refund also. So this is the reconciliation. So reconciliation of your e-credit ledger, your TDS, TCS deduction credited into e-cash ledger, your e-liability registers, and properly matching with your books of accounts. So this reconciliation is a must. Now let me ask one question to you. While doing this reconciliation, you come across that some credit which you have availed, which was wrongly availed, it was not available to you. You have wrongly availed. Now, after doing this reconciliation, you realize you need to reverse this credit. after a period of 6 months. So wrongly availed credit, you are reversing after 6 months. Fortunate part that you have not utilized this credit, only wrongly availed, but you have not utilized. Do you require to pay interest? That is my simple question to all of you. Do you require to pay interest? Under section 50, subsection 3 of CGST Act, say yes or no. Will interest is leviable? No interest. Perfect. Everyone has given no. Akash Lodha is saying yes in case avail, no. Wrongly availed, no problem. Unless utilized. And this provision is applicable with retrospective date July 1, 2017. So this reconciliation, that's the reason very important. So do by yourself so that you can take corrective measure wherever required. So this is the point. Next point, coming back to the RCM liability now. Here I need 2-3 minutes so that you can understand this part well. You as a registered person liable for reverse charge liability. Let's say you're taking GTA services, advocate services, import of services, reverse charge liability with you. You need to pay reverse charge liability. And once you pay the reverse charge liability, you will avail the credit, right? Now, very interesting change, which is now made effective from 1st November 2024. That is the reason I want to draw your attention. Listen very, very carefully. Very, very carefully. Let's say there was some transaction in 2021. Let's assume. Advocate has raised the bill to you. Advocate has raised the bill, let's say on 1st January 2020. Let's assume 1st January 2020. Advocate who is not registered in GST law. Now you come to know today that you are subject to RCM against that advocate invoice, which is pertaining to 1920, because 1st January 2020 was the date of invoice raised by the advocate. On 4th of April 2025, you have to pay the GST liability under reverse charge. There's no escape route. You have to pay this liability. Now, when you have to pay this liability, only two things you need to work out. Whether department can allege fraud or non-fraud. If it is beyond the period of limitation, then nothing is payable. But if it is within the limitation, then of course you have to pay RCM liability, right? If you have to pay the liability today, which is of 1920 or 2021, whatever might be, paying now, can you avail credit? My first question. Can you avail credit today? Say yes and no. Say yes and no. Can you avail credit today? Lot of you are giving yes, lot of you are saying no. Lot of answers are coming to me in question answers tab. Listen very carefully. I will definitely. You can avail credit. What would be eligible document for you for availing credit? Self-invoice, right? Self-invoice. Which you would be raising, right? To yourself under section 31, subsection 3, clause F. And of course, this RCM liability to be paid along with interest, POT. POT has arisen long time back. As per section 13, subsection 3, you have to pay along with interest. Interest, no credit, but RCM liability paid, credit can be availed on the basis of self-invoice because your supplier was unregistered. So RCM liability on payment, rule 36(1)(b), self-invoice is the eligible document. Of course, you have to pay along with interest, but credit was available. I'm using the term was available. Was available. So what is the change now? And this is what you need to bear in your mind. From 1st November 2024, I'm again repeating 1st November 2024. Any RCM supplies you're receiving from unregistered supplier. Had it been advocate invoice, let's say on 15th November 2024, let's assume, then as a condition, you must raise self-invoice to yourself within 30 days. Within 30 days, by 15 December 2024, you must raise self-invoice to yourself. Otherwise, it is violation. Corresponding change is being made under section 31, subsection 3, clause F, read with rule 47A, read with section 13, subsection 3 for the POT. The provision which was applicable for the past, which was endorsed by circular also, circular number 211, is no more applicable after 1st November 2024. So this is the correction you must take down, important one. So RCM liability reconciliation need to be made, corresponding credit to be availed, and to avoid interest, you need to look at POT provision. I hope you got the message. Say yes, you got the message, so that I will feel like, yes, this was the new one you are getting today. Am I clear to all? Am I clear to all? Say yes, at least a yes in a question answers tab will help me, definitely. Thank you very much. So this is one. Now, goods sent on approval. There are two more left out. Then we would be having open house question answer session. You ask as many questions as you got in your mind. Goods sent on approval. You send certain goods on for approval by your customer on delivery challan. Need to be checked, because maximum time limit permitted is 6 months. After 6 months, if it is not being returned, it is deemed supply. So you must cross-check. Pertaining to job work, if you are a principal registered, you're a principal who has given input for the job work or capital goods for the job work, then ITC 04 need to be filed. And for ITC 04, if aggregate turnover is more than 5 crore, then 2 times half yearly by 25th, for April to September by 25th October, from October to March by 25th of April. And if it is up to 5 crore, then yearly by 25th April. This provision need to be kept in mind. ITC 04. So a lot of compliances are there which we need to check, reconcile, and close our books of accounts for financial year 24-25. So what I did today, I have picked up the activities important in the month of March, even for the compliances, the reconciliation part, and I've tried to give you the flavor, why it is important, why it is important. And it is always good to be proactive rather than reactive, because reactive will cost you either denial of credit, interest implication, and quite obvious penalty provision depending on non-fraud or fraud cases. So it's better proactively reconcile, prepared, and taken the needful steps as required. So I've covered almost 30 pointers today. I do not know how many of you have noted down. If you have noted down, can I see thumbs up so that I can just judge and gauge that you are the one who has prepared this particular note sheet? Okay, all right. So lot many. Saurav is saying, yes, I have done that. Okay. So post it on social media, tag my account, so that I will come to know that you are the one who has say thumbs up and prepare whatever writing. Writing is not important. What is important, you have really religiously taken down those pointers, and that will help. And you can take my word for granted. If you're taking down, it helps you to get memorized. That is the mode I use for myself for memorizing the pointers and everything. So I've given my part to you. If you want to get something in your mind, you can definitely do in this process. So I'm almost through, requesting hers to come back and start the question answer session. So I'm through with my presentation.
All right. So,
And before they, you can announce hers for our
yeah.
GST chemicals, which I didn't say. I left it for you.
No,
Announce it
absolutely.
now. Yeah.
Absolutely. So people in and around Gujarat, Delhi. So it's a very good announcement that we have. So Bimal sir is coming down to Surat on 19th of April. Yes, 19th of April. That is a Saturday, and it will be a dinner event starting from 7 p.m. and it goes on till 10:30, 11, depending on how many questions people are asking. And sir just gives impromptu advice. So that's the only agenda that we have. Sir will be there on the stage with you. I will be there for some time, and Sir will speak on anything that you want to ask question on: accounts, chartered accountancy, life, problem in personal life, GST, Supreme Court cases, anything that you want. And Sir is there from 7 p.m. onwards with us. And in our previous experiences, we generally put a hard stop at 9 p.m. But Sir's energy and the passion that he has goes on beyond 10:30, 11 also, where people are like, Sir, we are asking more questions, and Sir says yes to that. So yeah, that is the whole event, and it's a free dinner event where we will be there waiting for you. I'm sharing the link right now, and the link has gone live from my end. And yeah, that is the LinkedIn post that you can see in the question and answers tab. Please go and register, and Sir will be waiting for you all to see. It's again in Surat, Marriott Hotel, not Courtyard by Marriott. There's another hotel by the same name, so don't get confused. It's Marriott Hotel where Sir will be waiting for you all.
So only point hers has communicated those nearby Ahmedabad, Surat is so much connected, but lot many other places in Gujarat, they can come and join this Surat event, which 101 event is a GST Chronicles program starting at 7 o'clock in the evening, followed by a charis dinner. Of course, we would be getting 2 hours time to interact. That can be on open house. Anything you want to ask, you want to meet me and ask anything personal, I'm available to all of you. This is the kind of program we have evolved for the purpose of creating good vibration, and all initiative and credit goes to Zoho Books. They are taking this lead to take it further, but it's an opportunity for all of us to come together. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Prayas. So this is what the program all about. So in case you're nearby, you are all invited, and rest assured, no charges, no registration fees. It's a kind of program you will cherish and enjoy. That is my promise to each one of you. So you can register yourself. Link is being provided to you.
All right. So thank you, sir, for this announcement as well. Now I think we'll go to question and answers. All right. So the first question, I have shared the question in your personal chat as well, sir.
Okay.
First question by Abhishek. I think it might have been answered earlier, but I'll just ask this question again. Sir, if we file rectification of order for availing benefit of section 16,
you're reading from top to bottom or bottom to top?
Top to bottom, sir.
Top to bottom. All right.
Abhishek. Yeah. So if we file rectification of order for availing benefit of section 16 by 5 for 29/20, earlier we are not filed any appeal after rectification order. We appeal against the same order for remaining dispute.
Now, here in this case, if there are other dispute, then that other dispute will be subject to merit, and that would be decided on the basis of your reply, merit, provision, and everything. But pertaining to 16 subsection 5, credit, which is being barred by limitation, to that extent, you will get the relief. So that is my answer to you. Abhishek, are you there in the audience now? If you're there, you can say yes, at least in the answers, question answers tab. Okay, he's not there, looks like. He left, posted and left. Okay, next one.
No worries. So next question is by Ms. Ruchi. Sir, do we have to pay GST on RCM for GTA services if it is not reflected in GSTR 1 under RCM inward supply?
See, it is not going to be reflected in GSTR1, Ruchi. It would be liability which would be getting, you can see in your 2B or 2A, subject to RCM. So that is the liability you need to pay. And then avail the credit in 3B. That's all.
All right. By Subodh Kumar Jain, if we are paying reverse charge on rent to unregistered person and taking input in same month GSTR 3B, the table of input tax credit will get read. Is this correct, sir?
There is no problem. To that extent, there is a press release from the department also that we can avail the credit in same month. That is possible, provided it is being paid by in the same month. It should not be a case credit avail but not paid in the same month.
Next question by Murli Krishna. Sir, if advocate provides services but does not give bill, then?
He's not giving bill and his bill has got no relevance. In case supplier is not registered, then the concept of self-invoice by the recipient. Murli, Mr. Murli, you will get credit only on self-invoice you are generating in that case. So why only advocate? Any supplier who is not registered in GST law, but his supply is subject to RCM, you need to raise self-invoice to yourself. And to that extent, I've said within 30 days, you need to raise the self-invoice effective from 1st November 24.
By Ashwin, if ITC is not filed on due dates, any penal provision?
ITC not filed on due date, any penal provisions? If ITC not filed, then first of all, your credit would be denied, barred by limitation. Second, I'm saying that it is as per section 16, subsection 4. And if it is not claimed, then the question of utilization becomes subjective. So, of course, it is depending on the non-fraud and fraud cases. If department allege non-fraud case, then 10% penalty is also available. And if it is fraud case, then it may go up to 100%, even wrong availment or wrong utilization. So we have to check to what extent. So you have to be careful enough. If it is not availed, you must reverse the same and did not avail the same. So you need to do the proper reconciliation. That's what my answer to you.
All right. So second set of question being sent, starting with Apurv Anand. Fact, I have two GST in different states on a single plan. Yeah. The second registration is just for sending our own goods to that state for inspection. And after that, the same goods are sent back to our main office in another state. No billing of such inspection is done. No purchases exclusively is billed in the name of HO for inputs, which are utilized for that other state. Only Tally, our accounting software, is built on yearly basis, which is used for accounting as a whole.
Two GST in different state on a single pen, you're a distinct person. The second registration is just for sending our own goods to that state for inspection. Even though if you're sending to other state for inspection, you have to either send on delivery challan or you have to raise the taxable invoice. If you're sending for inspection, then delivery challan is not a supply. And after that, the same goods are sent back to our main office in another state. So you have to really look at when it is coming back. Of course, through DC send, it can come back. Then no billing is required. No billing of such inspection is being done. So no purchase exclusively is billed in the name of HO. I told you, two different registration in two different state, you're a distinct person. So if you are sending some goods, either it should be supply or it should be on delivery challan. It should be on delivery challan. Because you are not ultimately sending for the supply purpose. It is only for the inspection purpose. And it will come back to you. So that is how delivery challan mechanism needs to be followed. This is what my answer to you, Apur.
So I think I missed the second part of the question. No other input, whether eligible or ineligible, is being made in such state. Query, do I have to register for ISD compulsorily in such a case?
See, again, Apurva, now for ISD, they are saying that you need to distribute the common input services, even for eligible and ineligible. If that particular state, you are not having any turnover, but if you have utilized the same, then the pro rata utilization they are talking about, to that extent that the dispute lies today, what would be the, the one denominator and one is the portion which we need to be applied. If there is no turnover particular to that unit, how we are going to get that figure? To that extent, we are looking for the clarification. This is the one subjective point in the ISD distribution.
Right. Next question by Sudhir Bhatia ji. Sir, is it not the duty of appellate authority to decide appeal in favor of assessee in 16/4 cases, 16/5?
Appellate authorities' responsibility, Sudhir, on them. If they are having any appeal, and appeal need to be decided as per section 16 subsection 5, then they are duty bound. They have to follow that provision. If they are not following the 16 subsection 5, which is existing retrospectively, then of course you can file a writ petition in the High Court, and they are duty bound. And even we got certain judgment wherein High Court has said such order need to be rectified also, as per section 161. So to my mind, they are duty bound.
All right. Next question by Ms. Kruti. If GT has filed Annexure 5 last year, then till when same is valid for?
They are saying that for every year you need to go ahead accordingly, because you never know from forward charge to reverse charge again Annexure 6 will come into the picture. So that is what my suggestion would be. You should file financial year basis.
Right. By Anchal Munat. For 16/5 application, officer call for meeting. Can we deny for it? Any chances of rejection if we deny?
Why you're denying it? 16 subsection 5 application, if you have gone for rectification application, if you're getting personal hearing in that regard, you must go and attend it. And there's a provision in that notification that before passing any adverse order, he must follow principle of natural justice. So he will definitely give you the PH in case he's not giving favorable order in your favor.
Right. So Mr. Vasu Tayal asks a very good question, long question rather. Respected sir, my assessee assessed under section 74 of CGST Act imposing tax, applicable interest under section 50 and penalty 100% of tax. The assessee deposited full tax, applicable interest under section 50 and penalty 50% of assessed tax under section 74 subsection 11. As the assessee deposited the complete tax and interest within 30 days of the order, after depositing the demand under section 74 subsection 11, the assessee can file the first appeal under section 107 of the CGST Act.
There is no problem. Depositing the tax is the one way, but once so-cause notice is being issued, order is being passed, order is appropriating whatever you have deposited, but you are disputing the same, you can definitely file appeal. None is stopping you. And in appeal, you can always, claim that whatever you have paid the tax, that is not admitted tax. So disputed tax, and you should litigate the matter. You can retract whatever, whatever department is saying. And that is the basis of your appeal going forward for the 107. Basu.
All right. Hopefully, Vasuji, you were able to see. Sir, Apurva and Kriti and rest of them also replied with an yes. Tushar Kanodia. Can we file appeal against amnesty scheme adverse order?
Possible. Whenever SPL 07 is being issued, you can file appeal against that. That is possible. And that provision is existing. You go to section 128 capital A, and then appellate authority again can pass favorable order SPL 06 or adverse order in SPL 08. So appellate mechanism is available under amnesty.
Next question by Sridhar GV. We are a registered GST cooperative institution. Will conduct exhibitions and a lot of ITC is available for stalls. Electrification advertisements are available. But we do not charge any fee from the exhibitors for stalls. We are availing the ITC of our suppliers. Is it correct?
How come then? What is this ITC all about? If you are not offering any outward supply for taxation, then what kind of ITC you are availing and why this would be available to you? Mr. Sridhar, I'm not sure about it. In what context you are availing credit? When you're outward, you're not offering for taxation.
Next question by Mr. Udit Agrawal. Whether ITC reversal required to be done in case of sale of export incentives scripts R or DTEB being
Not
exempt.
required. Udit, not required. It is being excluded. When you look at the explanation for Rule 42 and Rule 43, it is not considered as exempt supply and no reversal is required.
So we have few more questions. I wanted to know if you are willing to take up.
Maybe one or two you can plug in and we can take.
All right, sir. Okay. All right. So one question I'm taking from Mr. Aditya. So the question is, sir, the turnover for FY 23-24 exceeds rupees 5 crore in the audit, but the taxable turnover as shown in AATO is only 1.5 crore. I have not generated e-invoices for FY 24-25 until now. Would it be correct to generate these e-invoices for FY 24-25 today?
It should be, because ultimately aggregate turnover includes exempt supplies also. So that is the threshold you need to calculate. So for only a registered person having aggregate turnover more than 10 crore, for them first time 30 days time limit is being prescribed. So you can generate even as on date today. Possible.
So I think the last question for the day, so that you also take some rest, by
Okay.
Jagannathan Bhaskar. Yes, sir.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. I have availed ITC in table 4A5 and then by mistake I have reversed in table 4B1 instead of 4B2. Now, what is the solution to re-avail the same ITC which is eligible?
You can again avail it in 4A5. That will show the red flag, but keep the reconciliation ready so that subsequently you can demonstrate it was wrong. By mistake, you have shown under 4B1. That is the only mechanism. Of course, by putting 4A5 once again, it would be red. Let it be red, but reconciliation will help you to substantiate.
Right. So I think with this, we are at the end.
So almost we have done maximum question, whatever posted to us. But before I say goodbye to each one of you, my humble submission and my one pointer to all of you. We have picked up a lot of activities important and compliances for the closure of financial year 24-25. We have tried our best. I'm sure you must have noted down on a piece of paper. Keep this paper with you and it will help you to recall what all you have learned today. And that is how you would be, getting your memory bank prepared for your GST knowledge. So a lot of things may be in your mind for posting queries also. So you can always go and post on social media. Time permit. I'm again saying that with the disclaimer. Time permit. I will definitely try to respond back. But otherwise, posting that queries will help. That we will come to know that what kind of queries coming up in the minds of tax professional and even for the taxpayer. And it is always to interact with each other. That's the best way we can really learn GST in a better way. Of course, GST is not good and simple tax, but we all are trying to make it good and simple tax. And that is only by walking the talk. And of course, these kind of webinar is nothing but in that direction. Walk the talk and try our best to make it simplified. To what extent, I'm sure, because we are trying from our side best, it needs to be law and legislator who has to make it very simple, and the person who is working at the ground level, they have to understand the law. So it's a both way. We have to walk the talk and we have to understand together from the taxpayer side and from the tax department side. But nevertheless, this journey will continue and we have to enjoy this journey together. Thanking each one of you being part of me, taking out your time, watching this webinar. Look forward on 19th April. Those who are coming from Gujarat region, Rajkot, lot many Gandhinagar, lot many places nearby to Surat, they can really register. Opportunity to interact and meet with you. And of course, when we are meeting in person, there's different vibration and we can talk, we can discuss any point, whatever comes to your mind. It would be my delight to be in touch with each one of you. So look forward to see you again. With this, thanking you. Thank you very much. Stay healthy and within financial year 25-26, lot of happiness, lot of peace, prosperity, and of course, finance should come to you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the lovely submission. As sir said, I am extending the invite to north of India as well. I know many people who love sir will come down. So please, please do join us. It will be a lovely session. And thank you again for all of you taking the time out and joining with us. Thank you so much, sir. With this, I'm closing it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.